Hey, it's Wednesday's Market SITREP here at TGO or Top Gun Options. I'm Wiz, Matthew Buckley, Chief Options Strategist at TGO. Going to be jumping on an airplane out of the 305, the MIA, heading over to Houston, giving a keynote tomorrow morning for one of our members, actually. To SCI, to about 100 folks in the finance and accounting division. So looking forward to that. So for my current members, tomorrow morning's Analyze Your Trade and Debrief. We're going to move that to Friday morning at 10 a.m. That'll be a perfect time to debrief since it looks like Thursday is going to be an absolute clown car in Washington with the tax vote and the potential stick in the mud, otherwise known as John McCain. So we'll do Analyze Your Trade on Friday. What's going on? Well, ballistic missile launch yesterday, no big whoop. Let's take a look at this, folks. Actually, we'll take a look at the S&P 500. So yesterday afternoon, our time, a intercontinental, easy for me to say, intercontinental, an ICBM was launched from North Korea right at Japan. The trajectory, of course, is to the United States and Washington, D.C. Take a look at what the market did. This is a one-day chart of yesterday. There's the open, there's the close, there's the missile launch. And that dip was bought like you read about in Who Cares magazine. Let's take a look at the volatility index, the VIX, the fear gauge. Let me get rid of some lines here. So here is the missile shoot. Oh my goodness. And then volatility implodes. VIX is up a little bit today. But mainly the reason the VIX is up today is because, as I said, we're about 24 hours away from the potential tax vote, and it looks like John McCain is going to pull a John McCain potentially. So, but look at the pop in the VIX on an ICBM shot, folks. Let me, if you're not worried, and I was out, so last night, Las Olas here, Fort Lauderdale, Christmas on Las Olas. People just don't understand what's going on here, folks. An ICBM that can now reach and vaporize a lot of people in this country. North Korean ICBM launch could put Washington, D.C. within reach. This is, I got to be honest with you, folks, at least Adolf Hitler lied. Adolf Hitler told Neville Chamberlain, let me sign that document. Neville Chamberlain gets off the airplane. I have a signed document from Adolf Hitler. There will be peace in our time. Adolf Hitler turns around to his buddies and goes, can you believe these people believe me? Are they that stupid? Why aren't we believing these people? Whether it's Iran or North Korea, we have countries with nuclear weapons who say, we want to kill as many of you people as we can. And what do? Nothing. The market keeps going up. Last night, people are, that's right, Wiz, you trade. How do I get into Bitcoin? I had a waitress ask me last night, how do I invest in Bitcoin? I'm like, do you even know what it is? I'm like, do you mind if I pay tonight with my Bitcoins? I should have taken out some of those chocolate, gold-covered coins, you get in your stockings at Christmas. Nobody cares about this, folks. This is stunning to me. And I got to tell you, Lindsey Graham did an interview on CNN that said, we're headed to war. We're going to war if things don't change. If we have to go to war to stop this, we will. Lindsey Graham ain't no Trump fan. I think he's still currently a colonel in the Air Force Reserves. This is a big deal. When you have a senior senator going, hey, man, it's not lost by me what a war with North Korea would look like. One, we're going to win it, but a lot of people are going to get hurt and killed. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no way on God's green earth North Korea is giving up these nuclear weapons. One of the reasons this launch happened yesterday was because, in my opinion, and some of the folks I talked to up north in a very big building said that this was a big FU to China. So last week, after Trump left, this guy was sent to North Korea to go, this dude's nuts. We think you're nuts, but this Trump guy's also nuts. He is going to come after you and kill you if you don't stop or give up your nukes. This launch yesterday, after that dude got on a plane and went back to China, mission complete. I delivered the message, President Xi. Whew. This was more of a big FU to China than it was to us. Folks, this is the sleeper story. I know it's in the background. I know most of you are more concerned that Matt Lauer and he doesn't have a receding hairline. He has no hairline, or is getting clipped. But ladies and gentlemen, this is bad. Okay? All it takes is something to go bump in the night. Some random artillery piece accidentally fires, and 4 million people in Seoul are dead in the blink of an eye. This is bad, folks. And I'm going to say when, not if this happens. Something's going to happen here. This guy said, I'm not giving up my nukes. You can suck it. Trump has said, and Secretary Mattis has said, we will not stand for a nuclear armed North Korea. Where do you meet in the middle on that? This is going to be a tough one, folks. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Who cares? Let's go Gordon Gekko. GDP revised up. Q3 GDP revised up to 3.3%, the highest in 3 years. All we got with Barack Obama was Lando Calrissian, a smooth-talking black guy from Chicago, or Chicago wishes it was Cloud City. We got nothing, man. This guy is good. But here's the problem, and here's why the VIX is up, the market's wallowing around. Literally, the clown car in Washington is scrambling today. We're supposed to have a vote tomorrow on tax reform. We might have to drag the vice president in there to break the tie if John McCain. And if we lose him and another Republican, it's over with. We have a 52 to 48 majority. And even some of the Senate Finance Committee folks were strong-armed by Trump yesterday to vote yes. The one dude from whatever state he's from. He's worried about guys like me, small businesses. Again, this is a huge tax cut for corporations, S-corps, LLCs, all the little guys like us, all our small businesses. We're still going to get kicked in the teeth. But this guy said, the president said he'll fix that. He'll help out small businesses, so he got a yes vote out of committee. I'll tell you what, folks, if I don't get tax relief, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of half the people in this country don't pay taxes, and they get money back. Where I come from in Jersey and Philly, when you get something back from the government when you didn't pay into it, it's called a bribe, and I'm sick of it. I'm not going to rant too much here, guys. I might be on an airplane to a different country. I can trade from anywhere with an internet connection. I better get some damn tax relief. I'm sick of paying into something and shouldering a lot of other people. But, a lot of good stuff going on here, folks. But a lot of the blue blood New York Wall Street banks are comical. Last week, Goldman Sachs, hey, if you love 2017, you're going to love 2018. Bank of America, 2018 is going to suck. Its market's going to implode. JP Morgan, 2018, eat, drink, and be merry. And 2019, it's going to suck. So a lot of the blue bloods are all over the place trying to figure out what 2018 is going to look like. I'm telling you right now, folks, I am cautiously bullish. And let's look at this. The only pullbacks year to date have been political. Steve Mnuchin and Gary Cohn have to resign because Trump's a Nazi. They didn't. Here's the fire and fury pullback when Trump threatened to vaporize Korea. Here's the Obamacare pullback for the Republicans' failure the first time to repeal it, and then the Jim Comey memo pullback. Nothing is keeping this market down. Short of a shooting war on the Korean Peninsula or between Saudi Arabia and Iran, this thing is going higher. Unemployment is getting better. Jerome Powell, the other reason the financials rallied yesterday, I think there was a little bit of a sector rotation out of tech yesterday. The FANGs are getting hammered today. Amazon, if I didn't get filled on the weekly spread, man, I'd potentially take a look at getting out of that thing, man. We talked about that in the AR today. But the sector rotation yesterday was on Jerome Powell. The potential, or he's going to be confirmed, but the new Fed chair, pretty good dude. It's very solid. He said we're pretty much near, full employment at 4.3%. You can never employ everybody, folks. It's just physically impossible. You're always going to have a dude sitting on the couch eating Cheetos in his parents' basement who is unwilling to find a job. So at 4.3%. We're looking good. The only thing I'm really worried about is the stagnant wages. We might be near full employment, but we ain't making more money for those folks. But you can't keep this thing down, folks. It is just, it's crazy. So along with the Bitcoin trade, I got a lot of questions walking around on Christmas Las Olas last night about this short volatility. People are going to be wiped out by short volatility. Here's a perfect example. Take a look at the VIX. Let's go with let's do the 3 minutes. So we got a spike in volatility last week, where or 2 weeks ago, we did a bullish double vertical on vol, made some nice money, and then we did a bearish double vertical on vol and made even more nice money. And then I said, hey, there might be an extended period. As I'm talking, look at this. The VIX was up 4% in the AR brief. Now it's up 6% as we ended the brief. Look at this, folks. And I told I told my AR members, I said, go buy some deep in the money calls out the next week on the VIX, and those are already making some money here. John McCain is going to be a stick in the mud, folks. I think the market, if we don't get tax reform passed tomorrow, we'll get it eventually. The VIX will explode, the market will pull back, and it will be bought. maybe a couple days, maybe next week. We will get tax reform eventually, but I will tell you, if tax reform doesn't get passed tomorrow, you're going to be seeing a huge spike in the VIX and the market will pull back, but it will be bought. I just showed you yesterday how the VIX pulled back, the VIX spiked and the market pulled back on an ICBM launch that can hit Washington, but nobody cares. Do not be short volatility. However, I will tell you when the short volatility, if we had the Fred Sanford, the big pullback where we're clutching our chest and I'm coming, Elizabeth, obviously we won't be short in vol. But kind of like last week or the other week when we had that pullback, we shorted vol because it wasn't the big one. It wasn't the Fred Sanford. So we have a lot of good stuff going on here, folks. We talked about managing our JP Morgan trades. We talked about our Raytheon trade and also our China trade and accelerated retirement. So make sure you watch the replay today if you're an accelerated retirement member. All right, folks, I got to pack. Got to run to the airport to head over to Houston. We'll move our Analyze Your Trade and Debrief to Friday at 10 a.m. Grab the popcorn, folks. It's going to be an interesting day tomorrow in Washington. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. We'll see you.